Welcome to Good to Know, where we dive into the fascinating science behind life's everyday mysteries. Today's topic: why do we yawn? It seems simple. A deep breath, a stretch of the jaw. Sometimes, it's so contagious that just hearing about yawning makes you do it. But behind every yawn is a surprisingly complex and still partly mysterious story about your brain, your body, and even your social life. Let's explore the weird science of why we yawn. Yawning is a reflex and automatic, unconscious behavior. Here's what happens physically. Your mouth opens wide. You inhale deeply, filling your lungs with air. Your eardrums may pop slightly. You exhale forcefully. It usually lasts about 6 seconds. And here's the wild part. Humans start yawning in the womb as early as 11 weeks after conception. Almost all vertebrates, including dogs, cats, birds, and reptiles, clearly, yawning is deeply embedded in biology. But why? Scientists have proposed several ideas, but no single theory fully explains yawning. Let's break down the main contenders. Early scientists thought yawning helped bring extra oxygen into the body and remove carbon dioxide. The idea: when oxygen levels are low or carbon dioxide levels are high, you yawn to restore balance. But modern experiments show that changing oxygen or carbon dioxide levels doesn't reliably change yawning frequency. So while breathing deeply might help you feel refreshed, oxygen alone doesn't explain yawns. More recent studies suggest yawning helps cool the brain. Here's how. When you yawn, cool air flows into your mouth and nasal passages. The movement of muscles around your head and neck increases blood flow. The result? A slight cooling of the brain's temperature. Since the brain works best within a narrow temperature range, a yawn might be your body's natural way of air conditioning your head. This theory has strong support from animal studies, and it explains why yawning often happens when you're tired, stressed, or hot. Yawning may signal a shift in mental or physical states. Think about when you yawn. Right before sleeping, right after waking up, when you're bored or trying to stay alert. Yawns might help transition your brain from wakefulness to sleep, from drowsiness to alertness, from low attention to heightened readiness. It's like your brain pressing a reset button. Yawning could have evolved as a social signal. In ancient groups, synchronized yawning may have signaled fatigue or readiness to rest, helped coordinate group activities, promoted empathy and social bonding. This helps explain why yawning is contagious and why humans, chimpanzees, and even dogs catch yawns from others. You've probably already yawned once, just from watching this video. That's not a coincidence. Yawning is famously contagious. Seeing someone yawn, hearing someone yawn, even thinking about yawning can trigger a yawn. Studies show that about 50 to 60% of people will yawn when exposed to images or sounds of yawning. Scientists think contagious yawning is tied to mirror neurons, special brain cells that help you mimic the actions of others. Empathy, the ability to feel and share others' emotional states. Interestingly, people who score higher on empathy tests are more likely to catch yawns. Children typically don't catch yawns until around 4 to 5 years old, the same age they develop stronger social awareness. Yawning may have evolved as a primitive way to synchronize group behavior and strengthen emotional bonds. Humans aren't alone in yawning. Many animals yawn, including dogs, cats, birds, fish, snakes, even crocodiles. In animals, yawns often occur during transitions, like moving from sleep to wakefulness or stressful moments. For example, dogs yawn when they're feeling anxious or uncertain. Chimpanzees catch yawns from each other just like humans. This hints that yawning serves both a physiological and social role across species. You're most likely to yawn before sleep, as your brain winds down, after waking up to reboot alertness, when you're bored to stay alert during low stimulation moments, when you're anxious or stressed to regulate brain function. Yawning doesn't always mean tiredness. It can signal a shift in mental state, preparing your brain for whatever comes next. Occasional yawning is completely normal, but excessive yawning, especially if it's unrelated to tiredness, can sometimes indicate sleep disorders like insomnia or sleep apnea, anxiety or stress, heart problems. Rarely yawning can occur during heart attacks, neurological issues like multiple sclerosis or brainstem problems. If yawning becomes frequent and uncontrollable without clear cause, it's worth mentioning to a doctor. So, why do we yawn? Because your body might be cooling your brain. Because your mind is shifting gears. Because you're part of a deeply social species, wired for empathy and connection. Or maybe just because life needs a few mysteries left unsolved. Have you ever caught a yawn in a weird situation? Tell me your funniest yawning story in the comments side. Love to hear it. If this video made you yawn and taught you something new, like it, subscribe to Good to Know for more surprising science about your mind, body, and life. Hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. And if you're yawning right now, it just means you're human.